My name is Dave Christensen. I work at the Bagley High School in the DCD program. I work with kids with cognitive delays and that are physically impaired, deaf or blind. Traditionally, I think that in a DCD classroom, primarily it's been paper, pencil, things. I guess it's always my philosophy that if students come to the high school and they have difficulty with name, address, and simple basic arithmetic, then it's time that we go hands-on. The social diversity class is a collaboration between a regular education classroom of students and this classroom. Myself and Brendan Schwagel combined two classrooms together.
We really found it as a unique opportunity for both classes to grow and learn and develop relationships that would go beyond the typical classroom setting.
It is a wonderful way to teach all kids that we're more alike than we're different.
The social diversity class, I think it starts to open up a new avenue of thought. It perhaps some kids can excel in areas that we haven't even completely worked through yet, and I think that's all an exciting frontier that we're beginning to go down that path.
We have an awesome team. All three of us girls get along great, and we kind of direct Dave, and he sees things our way most of the time.
He's a good guy to work for.
Yes.
He really is. He treats us well.
Yes, very well.
We never know what Dave's got planned.
And for me, unfortunately, Val's the one that has to stay back. I'm the one that gets to do a lot of the community resources, which is something I've wanted to do for years, and that's one reason why I like it here.
One of the activities that we did was we pretended that the students were all disabled in some format, where we might have put tape on their hands so that they couldn't use their fingers, or maybe put duct tape on their arms, or they'd have to be sitting in a wheelchair, just to show what it would be like with the confinement of not being able to use those limbs. And they really realized how important all their senses were. The kids really drew close after that activity. We also talk, just about our each individual needs and what works and what doesn't work. And so the interaction, kind of throwing it all together in the same pool, they gain from each other and a lot of different experiences.
We're working on something called authentic intellectual work. It's where we try to make the learning more authentic to what it would be like and to help them as they move into the real world. And there's something called substantive conversation as a big part of this program, where you have kids talking to kids, solving problems with each other, and coming to a consensus. And I watch Dave with those kids who many people would say, wouldn't be able to do that. And he has substantive conversations in his classroom.
We've put together meals, random meals. That's where you just take a hodgepodge of ingredients and things that totally don't relate at all. And each group has to come up with their own menu or recipe. And then they have to present it.
Whatever, if your group wants to do a meal and a side, great. If they want to do one complete meal, that's up to them.
And should they use it all?
I think everything has to be used.
Okay. Everything has to be used.
Peel this potato. Alright. Yeah, I'll cook the ramen. It's getting hot. Okay, so we got graham crackers. I got an idea. I say, oh, frozen banana. Really? A frozen banana.
What we want to do is create problem-based situations where kids have to navigate and construct their own way of solving problems. Show them that there's a lot of solutions to one meal or any set of obstacles that we put in front of them. That there's many ways that you can solve those problems.
I think we should make like an oatmeal based with fried banana and like a graham cracker crumble on it with apples in it. We're kind of going with the flow right now. Just trying to cook everything, and we'll figure out what to put together at that point in time.
No such thing as too much butter, eh, Nate?
Nope. And then just go put it in the microwave and melt it. I'm gonna see you. Guys. There you go.
Well, I think that's where they'll learn the most, getting real life experiences with real people, I mean, schools are wonderful places, but what people get in school isn't really the same as what real life is like.
The kids are being together, like out in the hallways when they see each other, they are giving them high fives and stuff, and we haven't seen that happen a lot. And it's kind of neat to see to where there's more interaction for these students, which I really like.
Well, today when I watched Amanda be in charge of my 2 football players, that was pretty touching. And it was just pretty neat. And of course I love food, so you know that's gonna work pretty well for me.
What were your ingredients?
All the things that
There was green beans, what else?
Apples, potatoes.
One time after our observation, I talked to him, I said, that was the coolest substantive conversation. He goes, was it? I said, yeah. And that's what we're all working on. And to see that being done in a class like Dave's is pretty extraordinary.
I think the future of the classroom is really to be more and more application, more and more driven. We want the students to interact and talk together. It's so much more authentic and alive, and these are the kinds of ways that kids will learn so well.
A lot of times the right thing has to come along for ideas and movements like this to happen, and we had the right kids, and they were very receptive and very ready to make these adjustments and try something different that has never been done before, and we found it to be remarkably successful, and it's really student driven. As you can see, we have kids playing kickball back there. A lot of the things that we like to do are student driven and based in problem-based learning, and we've had the right kids and the right personalities coming through that really are open to this opportunity.
I think that the important thing that even as parents and educators we need to realize is that students need to be given the opportunity to try. And they may not do it the first time, they may not do it the 50th time, and they may not do it the 200th time, but to keep giving them the opportunities.
I believe that when people can see what we're doing up here, it starts to help turn some light bulbs on back at their places and their schools, and hopefully those kinds of programs can spread. They're welcome to come and tour our facilities and visit with our people and our staff. We've got great staff, we've got great students, and I'm glad that they're collaborating together to create these kinds of programs for kids.
When I see a student walk into the classroom and they have a smile on their face, that tells me that they're eager to be here. And if you notice a lot of the videoing, the kids are all happy. I feel that I owe it to them to give them the life that I have. I do what I do because I like to see kids become independent and successful. I love the mystery of trying to figure them out. And the biggest thing is raise their self-esteem so they can take on the challenge of life. And as the sun sets on Bagley, I'm thinking, usually as I'm going to sleep, what are we going to do tomorrow?